Did you get it? Thanks to this one. I'm like, you know somebody who has a truck.
And it has a lift gate.
And muscles.
Yeah, oh my gosh.
Yeah. I was trying to get family to help me out with this and we couldn't get enough people together to help with it. And I was like, what am I gonna do? I told him my son, I woke up at 4 this morning to use the restroom.
Let's guide our actions and all that we do, and we want to make sure that it reflects your service and your will. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
We have the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, the four-way test of the things we think, say, do. Number one.
Is it true?
Number two.
Is it fair to all concerned?
Number three.
Will it build a better future?
And number four.
Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Thank you.
Thank you, Matt. John.
Yes, we have guests. We have Chris Walsh with us. Welcome, Chris. Welcome. Well, we do with guests. You get to stand up and tell us what you do.
My name is Chris Walsh. I'm the president-elect of the Kenton County Rotary.
Oh, nice.
And I've just come here to see how you guys do things and see if I can get some ideas on how we can do things better. Also wanted to thank those of you that came and supported our 0.5K serious athletic event on each day. It was a big success, even with the weather that we had, but we really appreciated the people from your club that came and participated. Hope you had a good time. And we're going to do it again on April 1st of next year. So thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Thank you. The only thing that I wore out that night was my elbow from.
There you go. Congratulations, President-elect at Kenton County Rotary. That's wonderful. We will not contest the election, just so you know. You're good to go. All right?
Save up for impeachment.
There you go. There you go. 18-10, I think. First place Cincinnati Reds, ladies and gentlemen. It's a good day. And if you haven't been down to the ballpark, they're off tonight, but next 3 days, it's a great vibe down there. Everybody having a good time and enjoying each other. It's almost like playoff World Series thing. People are high-fiving in the crowd these days, and it's beginning of the season. So I think Cincinnati sports fans are looking for a little joy. We have the NFL draft. We had great hope that we have all the winners there. And now, well,
Still have hope.
always have hope. Hope's the greatest thing there is. And then we have the Derby on Saturday. And John Schickel has all the winners. So go see John. He'll fill you in on all those. And if you want the last placements, I've got those in my. That's all I have, sir.
All right, thanks, Sean. Reminder that we have a foundation board meeting after this meeting. Sunrise, I hope, but I don't think we have any updates for that right now. The club is that temporary play shoot is June 20th. We have gotten another $2,000 of commitments, so we're up to $6,500.
Nice.
So please come out and shoot and enjoy yourself, and sponsorship are still desperately needed, and that all goes to the Sunrise, I hope. Here is some opportunities for volunteering. Read at your pleasure. And we're doing good on reporting. But almost $83,000 of impact, so keep that good work going. And once again, Jim will take care of you. If you have difficulties getting online to register yourself, Jim sends out that monthly email. Greg, anything you want to say about the district conference that's coming up on the 15th? and 16th?
Did not change this week.
That's good.
Okay.
We're getting ready to have a big deal. I'm meeting today with folks from the hotel to finalize all of our projects. Finalize the menu. They're doing a great job. This is a beautiful place and you're gonna love being there with us. We've got about 75 people signed up right now. That's half of what we're looking for. So if you haven't registered, please go on. And I've talked to a lot of you about going in Jack TV and registering. It's really not all that hard. But if you have a hard time with it, let me know. I'll walk you through it, or I'll do it for you. John Schickel, where'd he go? I forgot my computer, but we'll still walk through it. I'll get you on there.
Hope springs eternal.
I also wanted to say yesterday, I joined our newest Rotary Club in the district, the Rotary Club of Dayton, Kentucky. Oh, cool. Wow. Is it real? It's real. They were chartered last week. They are a companion club of ours. We're sponsoring them. They have 10 starting members. Yesterday was their first community project. We helped the city of Dayton. We joined the Dayton Neighborhood Association. We joined, there was 2 Campbell County commissioners there. There was 4 Dayton City commissioners there. There was Rotarians from here, Florence, Kenton County, Covington, and Dayton. There was about 30 folks. And we went out for 2 hours and picked up trash and put it in a bag. And then they gave us free pizza. It was a heck of a deal.
All right. There you go.
Beautiful morning. We all had a lot of fun. So keep looking for that work. It's kind of a neat club. There's 10 new members, 10 charter members. The birth dates go from sometime in like 98 to sometime in the 60s. We got a big range. John's been down there several times to help us get this thing organized. And it's kind of interesting to see this brand new group of young and old. I think in the whole thing, there's only one guy who's been a Rotarian before. So they really don't have any clue what this is all about. They're jumping right in and having a blast.
I read that.
So their meetings are every other week. I'll let you know when they are. It'd be great if once in a while you could go down and just show them that we believe in them and we're supporting them and we're going to be there to help them. Thank you.
A follow-up on what Greg just said. We as a Florence Rotary Club and Covington, Campbell, or Dayton, we need to support this conference. We have to. This is reflective on our district governor. We don't have many of them. And we got a chance to go ahead and say, put our best foot forward. Now, I know it's a weekend. I'm going to be scrambling. I've got ball games all over the place with my kids. But if you can go to one on a Friday or go to Saturday, we need to be strong here in Northern Kentucky to show to the rest of the state, Lexington and all them in Ashland. I mean, when it comes time to get another district governor or whatever, we get a little oomph there. So to be honest with you, 75 is not good enough for us. We should be 150. So if you guys could just sign up one night, just one day, 3 hours, 2 hours, or whatever. We only do this once every so many years to be up here and have it hosted. So that's my 2 cents. Thank you, sir.
Mark, to follow up with the follow-up here. It said to sign up, I've been working with Meet NKY. They provided us 50 visitor guides. Then we've given us all kinds of swag. So you can have a little notepad here. We've got pens, as well as the Meet NKY stone car drink holder. These are actually very nice. So yeah, you know what? These are, so you sign up now, and I'm with with Dennis. We got to get 150 people there. So we've done a ton of work trying to lay the groundwork to get this thing done. So sign up.
Sign up. I think we have probably 9 signed up right now, so we could really use some more, as everyone has stated.
Are we referring to sign up for volunteering or sign up to
For the
attend?
district conference, for the conference.
For attending or volunteering? What do you need?
Attendance.
Attending volunteers, we will talk about next week.
Okay,
Sound good?
Yep.
I'm gonna need some folks to help me with the registration table. I'm gonna need some folks just to be in the general area. Looking for people to think they're lost. They're not, but you know what I mean.
Are you talking about me again?
Yeah. We're getting that mouth open, looking around the room. I already have volunteers signed up to do aids to our VIPs. We have 3 VIPs coming in. So there'll be some more jobs, and I'll have a list of those for next week.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, Paul.
Oh, just wanted to mention the fishing outing on the 9th. It's a New Day Ranch out in Corona, near the governor's locale. And so about 9 o'clock would be a good time to show up. Looks to me like we're gonna have more kids than we did last year. We have about 35, so we'll have fishing until such and such a time, and then we'll eat some pizza, and then we'll have a little more fishing and so on. And, so that's Richard Harrison with Covington Club that's involved, and then the Northern Kentucky Fly Fishers, and I'm a member of that group as well. And so anyway, it should be a good time. The lake is stocked well. And my understanding is that they're catching some really nice bass and large bluegills and things. So bring a rod. If you don't have one, you probably have enough to go around. But anyway, the 9th of May, Saturday. The weather will be good, I guarantee it. And the kids are always lively. We see them a lot of things that kids are, that energy, that vibration, good deal. So anyway, please come.
Last year mine fell in the lake.
All right.
You did get it out down.
Doug saved him.
Sean, 34 years.
Hey, yeah.
It's your birthday.
Keyboard was a good year with us.
Yeah.
Okay, next week we will be giving out our scholarships, and here are the 6 that were fortunate to walk away with a scholarship. So look forward to that next week. And happy dollars.
I'll start.
Casey?
I'm throwing 5 because I never carry cash on me and I always don't have cash, so I don't do this. So here we go.
Okay.
My son has started driving. He's got his first job. And then over the weekend, he was very grateful that we were able to get a free old antique piano, as he's a musician. And this one and her guys helped us to secure said piano.
All right.
Yeah.
A child was up till 4 a.m. on the piano this morning. So.
Anyone else?
I got $1 for our new club.
No, George's.
And I have a happy dollar for our very own Dennis, who was very kind and purchased a year's supply of gifts for our speakers. So you are the first one, Bob, that's going to get this.
Nice. Oh, no.
And thank you, Kenny. Ian.
As you are all aware, dues are due, so, you've got your invoices out. Thank you for those who've already paid. If you can't make it today, it's next week, week after, whatever, but we just need to get them all paid, before the end of June.
Excellent. John?
Thank you, Mr. President. I think everybody knows that, Art Bruce's wife passed away.
Yes.
Several weeks ago, and some of us were talking at the visitation, and we're hoping to we wanted to get her Bruce, Dr. Bruce, to a meeting. He's one of our founding fathers. I don't know if he's a founding father, definitely the one. Is he a founding father, Dennis?
He was up there.
Yeah,
He was up there.
a long time member. So we're shooting to get him here, next, I guess it'd be next meeting, the 4th, is that the next meeting?
Yes.
We're shooting to get him here the next meeting. Don't know for sure that he'll be here, but we're shooting for that. So just, you might tell people if somebody that knows him or a member that wants to come visit with him, it'd be nice to have a lot of his friends here for that meeting.
Definitely.
You'll let us know later in the week if it's confirmed.
I'll let you know tomorrow, John, and you can spread the word.
Okay.
They were married, what, close to 70 years?
Wow.
74.
Wow.
Am I doing this or are you?
Oh. I was eating some ice.
She was testing the price.
So I just wanted to welcome everybody today. It's my pleasure to introduce today's speaker, Bob Moore. I actually have a personal connection with Bob years ago at Stevens Elementary. I coached his daughter, Allie, on quick recall. And I didn't realize it, did not make the connection until we were talking a little bit earlier. His brothers are dentists, and so you're familiar with Dr. Marty Moore, Dental Development Center, which is one of my kids when we got here. There are braces and things, and when we moved here in 2001, we actually started with Marty and Brian as adults there, so didn't realize we were patients of the Moore family.
I say there are some ones now.
Yeah. So today, Bob is co-owner of Rita's Italian Ice and Frozen Custard here in Florence. And he's going to bring us a story that blends entrepreneurship, family, and community. Alongside his wife, Christina, Bob has created more than just a business. They built a welcoming place centered on connection and joy. I mean, who doesn't have joy when you're having ice? With a background in franchising, including time with Skyline Chili and deep roots right here in Northern Kentucky, Bob brings both experience and heart to what he does. And maybe you can do a fundraiser for Eagles for our club, so which that would be fun too. So please and join me in welcoming Bob.
Thank you, Julie. I appreciate it. It's also very nice to be able to see some familiar faces out there like Carrie and Ian. Ian and I are old college buddies. We have a couple classes together back in the day. Carrie also worked alongside of one of my children when he was a little camp counselor at the Y years ago. So thank you guys, Mr. President, Mr. President-elect. Thank you guys for allowing me to take a couple minutes of your day to introduce you to what I have felt has been something that I fell in love with. My wife and I fell in love with in the state of Florida about 15 years ago. So if you are from the Northeast, you know exactly what this is. If you are not from the Northeast, it's okay. You're gonna find out what it is here shortly, but the clicker. So Rita's brand is one of the strongest brands out there. There are 605 franchises in the state or in the country. There are currently 2 in the state of Kentucky. One's in Bowling Green, and we have the second one. They just opened one in Sharonville, Ohio as well last month. Between those 2 locations, we're hoping to have potentially a half a dozen or so within the greater Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky area. That's our goal anyway.
The arrow.
Oh,
There you go.
you can tell I've never. A little bit about Rita's, it's actually kind of cool because this was founded by a firefighter back in 1984. He and his mother sat on the front porch in Bensalem, Pennsylvania, water ice. They call it water ice, and all the training we had, we heard just water ice terminology, and I had to keep looking at the script to see what they were describing. It's water ice. So Italian ice has been over 100 years old, very, very popular up in the Northeast. He is a firefighter that was selling it and eventually said, I need to do the brick and mortar, ended up buying a little shop front, and then the rest is history. As you know, he named it after his wife, Rita. So that's actually kind of cool. They've used real fruit, as we do as well, in what we make the water ice with. What you guys have tasted today was made either this morning or yesterday morning. We have about a 36-hour shelf life. Water and ice is not going to hurt anybody, but we're going to pitch it based on integrity. I think I've got a mix up there. Can't see what that reads actually, but frozen custard is an item that goes on top of the ice that you have. It's called a gelati. But there's good normal items like sundaes and milkshakes and concretes that people are most familiar with from day to day. About us, so my wife, Krista, and I, so who we are and where we came from. I've lived in Northern Kentucky my entire life. I went to school, grade school, high school, and college here in Northern Kentucky. This is the only place on the planet that I think everyone and their brother and sister should live is Northern Kentucky. I've had such an incredible growing up in Lakeside Park, Kentucky. I had 7 brothers and 1 sister. I'm sorry, 6 brothers and 1 sister. There was 8 of us growing up. I almost feel like I could write a book just based on that experience. So I brought Krista from Ohio, is what I call bringing her to the right side of the river. She's from Ripley, Ohio, a very small town. She's an only child, so we made a very good complement between the 2 of us. But we had 3 children. All 3 children went to Boone County High School. All 3 children currently live in Northern Kentucky, and I have a feeling they're probably going to do the same thing, live their entire lives with their immediate families as well. We feel that Rita's is something that we experienced for many years and love the flavor and the texture and the taste. And then we start looking at the modeling of what that looks like. We thought this could really work in Northern Kentucky. There really is nothing very unique that's uniquely different than ours. It's just soft serve ice cream, it's frozen yogurt, whatever the scenario is. But with the Italian ice, we felt that was very unique. But I think what really made it the difference is with our connection to Northern Kentucky, in addition to my wife, whose specialty is in the marketing side of the world, I thought we probably made a pretty good team. I initially said no to my wife. I can't tell you how many times I told her no. I did the Skyline Chili thing for about 7 years on the corporate franchise side. It's a lot of work. It's for young people. It's not for guys 57, 60 years old. I can tell you that. But she kept explaining things on why we would be successful in Northern Kentucky. There's nothing like it. We have the ability, the contacts that I have with the local high schools. I've known almost everyone in Northern Kentucky that I see, like Julia, I see on a daily basis walking, work with her husband, John, Carrie, and again, it goes on, and the people that I know. So we started to really click into her background. She could do the social media, she can do the branding. She understood that Rita's brand, this brand is a strong brand. I'm not a brand, I mean, we're all brand guys. If you put it, you cut your finger, you put what around it to stop it from bleeding. And it's not a Band-Aid, right? That's a Band-Aid brand, right? So we're already, in a Kleenex, the same thing. You're gonna blow your nose with a facial tissue. So this is the same recognition that we wanted to bring to Northern Kentucky. We also feel it's a connection place. It is amazing. Every day that I'm in there, the people have come in from the Northeast like, yo, water, ice, this is great. Because they know what this is. It's awesome. It's been fantastic. And that's, to me, is building a connection. I met this guy who is from Philly. Comes in with his Eagles hat on backwards, bragging about how great the Philadelphia Eagles are. I said, dude, I got nothing. So we have the Bengals. So he understood that. We had this instant connection, but then he started telling me his story that he grew up on the boardwalk in Atlantic City. He grew up to be homeless. He grew up to be a drug addict and an alcoholic. And his only thing that got him out of that was this deck of cards that he found. He found this deck of cards in a bus while he was sleeping from one of the casinos. And for 4 hours, he was trying to figure out how to do the shuffle. And so he went to the internet at the library and they actually showed ways to make, so he spent 4 hours, 5 hours, then his mind clicked. I can do this for this period of time. I can get off of drugs. I can get away from alcohol. Fast forward in the future, he comes into my story, goes, dude, I'm a magician. I go, yeah, you wear the top hat and the little cane and the rat, and goes, no, no, street magician. There's a big difference in the two, and he pointed that out to me. So anyways, the connection that I have with this gentleman from Atlantic City and the Rita's brand is huge. And then he goes, hey, I know people. I'm going to send them here. We're going to do this. So it's been a really positive thing. And it kind of the fruition of my life, I have to tell her that she's right. And I don't always like to do that. So we do have an additional plan to open one more. We do have the first right of refusal for the second one, all in Northern Kentucky. So we got the 3 counties, Booth, Kenton, and Campbell. Right now, we're probably hinting at potentially Cold Springs, somewhere in that area. We had a lot of research done, and it took us about 2 years to decide and finalize the place we're at right now, which is right next to Boone County High School. There's a little strip center in there that has Jet's Pizza, and they have Red Pepper, which, by the way, they have the best crab rangoon anywhere. They have little handles on them that you can dip it into the sweet and sour sauce. So a little background about my wife. She has worked in the kind of the farm world, but she's kind of buttoned up with a lot of regulations like FDA and government regulations in regards to her doing the branding that only has to be their way, that company way. So she has a lot of fun with our Instagram and our Facebook and things because she can be a little bit more free in what she does. She's focused on the thoughtful and engaging. If anybody follows Instagram, you'll see that she did a lot of Christmas things where she had a bunch of snowmen coming through our drive-through holding a quart of ice, and that gets, 1,000 hits, whatever the scenario is. So she's really good at that. My background, if you haven't figured it out, is talking, right? So I have a lot of customer service experience as well as sales experience. I did the Skyline Chili thing, which you guys know about. For me, I want to be the #1 store in Rita's franchise. Now, I don't know that I'll ever get there, but if you don't shoot for the moon, what else is there? We did it with Skyline Chili. I said, I want to be #1. I didn't get the #1, but I got the #2. So I was pretty happy about that. We were $1 million in revenue. So that experience and hiring, disciplining, training, young kids, old kids, whoever, was a really good catalyst for me into what we're doing. There, the last 20 years, I have been dealing with inside sales teams, dealing with customer service teams, as small as 10 people up to 250 people, both here in the United States, as well as in a country called Macedonia, which is near Greece, which was a language barrier. So I had a lot of, again, those are fun things for me because I like to tackle those kind of things. The Rita's of Florence, Kentucky, we had our soft opening on December 17th. And, if anybody knows the industry or has a business, they'd be familiar with what a soft launch is. We wanted to get the bugs out, right? We wanted to get the kinks out. I've got extremely expensive equipment, and we had no idea if they were working or not. I'm not just going to turn the green light on and go to work. But what we also had in the back of my mind was I wanted to train these employees to get ready for summer. 4.5 to 5 months is a lot of time to deal with being very slow and methodical with people coming in at the Christmas time as well as the holidays. However, we've been like this, the sales have increased week over week, every week. So I'm super excited about that, but you also have to prepare for that. So there's the hiring and there's the backfilling and all those kind of things. Our official grand opening was just this past Friday. If anybody went past Florence and saw what in the world's going on, it was a madhouse. I do not know the number of people that we had there, but it was very successful. We did have the mayor. We also had Judge Executive Moore. We had some other people that were there as far as dignitaries helping us cut the ribbon. To me, it was extremely important that I cut the ribbon with my employees. Not about me. It's not about my wife. It's not about Rita's. It's about those individuals that you saw in that picture up there. And so I didn't get the chance to get the entire crew, but we had a lot of the crew there. They have never been experienced anything like this. I had done a few of these grand openings with the Skyline group. So they were super excited, but they also didn't know what they were doing. I said, well, you're just gonna get your picture taken. You just need to smile a little bit. So the number of flavors, you guys just tasted just a few. What I had available this morning was half of what we have for the day, right? So we're gonna have another 9 or 10 flavors. And we rotate it throughout the year. Some items sell really, really well, and some items are like really, really bad. So I usually can figure those out. The most popular flavors are the 3 you see there. You might have tried 2 of those, the Swedish fish ice, the mango ice, and the cotton candy ice. The Swedish fish just shocked me because I'm like, yeah, I usually go to a movie and I have a little box of Swedish fish. That's where I had them. But you try it, and everybody looks at me and there's eyes like this. This tastes just like Swedish fish. I said, no, it's amazing. But those are the 3 most popular flavors. Our first day of spring, I think I was talking to you, Joe, about this. It's a little bit different. If you recognize Rita's or if you do any research into Rita's, they have a thing called first day of spring because most of their locations are open seasonal. So they'll close during the cold season. So what happens is everybody gets addicted to this product, right? Or they want their ice and then they got to wait because they got to wait until the first day of spring, which is typically sometime in March, sometimes April. But what happens is they have free ice for the entire day. So the lines are out 200-300 deep. We didn't know what to expect with our first day of spring because we didn't know if people knew what it was. We were really, really busy and a lot of action going on. We didn't have the lineup that we think we'll have in the future, but we're open year round. So that makes a big difference too. To get to know a little bit about, we have a poster in our shop that actually describes what these items are. This is just a quick view of that. The gelati is what I mentioned before. That's the #1 product that all 600 franchises have, which is the custard on top, the ice in the middle, and then custard at the bottom as well. That item with the mango ice, if anybody had mango, that's what sold me the very first time I tried it. So this is the greatest thing I've ever had in my life. I want to move here. I want to do this. And that was 15 years ago. But, you fast forward in life and we got away from it and just kept going to Florida. We would have it down there because there are 50 of them in Florida. I would switch every once in a while, get a concrete. I tried the blendini, but the Italian ice as well as the gelati are one of those things. Now, gelati and gelato are 2 different things. Gelato, you go to Italy, and that's their form of their ice cream, right? So a gelati, I don't know what the terminology came from, but that has been a term for about 40 years. So we just go with it. Do milkshakes, as you can see there. Kiwi lemon, we just came out with that flavor probably two weeks ago. It's been selling pretty good too. Doesn't look flavor-wise as good as I think, but it looks like
Sounds good.
yeah. So community engagement. Somebody had mentioned this before. Julie, I think you had mentioned about doing a fundraiser. Absolutely. And anybody in this room has any business connections, we will do it in a heartbeat. And we give 20% of the sales. I wrote it, we don't write checks anymore, but I gave a donation to the Boy Scout Troop 833 out of Walton of $500 because they came in and they did what's called a celebrity scoop. So the troop leader said, we're going to have one of the kids, 3 12-year-olds, each one's going to look at how behind our counter, we're going to teach them how to scoop ice. Right, so we're not breaking any labor laws. It was, it's just, a fundraiser. But we had them back there. They didn't know about it. None of the troop families knew about it until they came into the store, saw their buddy behind the counter. Why are you back there? So I'm a celebrity scooper. So it's really cool. It was a really cool event because he gets to scoop and hand this to his buddies or his family. As I mentioned a couple of you, I am a PA announcer at Boone County High School for the boys varsity basketball. So we have a lot of good connections with the sports teams and I'm hoping to spread that out a little bit further. On-site caters, I have one tomorrow morning over at Vilmanana High School. They're celebrating their seniors and they wanted to do that in a certain way. So that's 250 kids. So that's a lot. But we're excited about that. That's kind of what we want to bring this product to the community. There's Alex Lemonade Stand is a charity event that's actually focused up in the Philadelphia area for children's cancer. Us on the outlying markets that are all over the country in Texas and California, we all don't feel like we want to support something so far away. We're trying to get something a little bit closer in our own community. So my wife and I are open to that. If you guys have any suggestions, please email me or thought process for that. We want to be able to still carry on that childhood cancer scenario, but we feel we want to do a little more local. I think what success looks like for us is just a place where you guys can come in and gosh, I remember Bob was at the Rotary meeting and I had the ice the first time and now I've come back and I've been coming here for years. That's what we're looking for. That's success for me. I will tell you, I'm not going to meet my goals. You know, again, I want to be the #1 franchisee. I don't know when or if it'll happen, but I'm not going to do it by people coming through the store. I'm going to be doing it by going out to the community, right? I'm going to be going to these places and say, let us set up one of our stands. Let us try that. Currently working with the Florence Speedway, trying to get in there. And you know, some of these places, they're just real tight and I get it and I understand it. Try the product first and tell me your thoughts. We also, I have fundraisers for causes, right? I did a fundraiser for a cheerleading team. To me, that's not a cause, but I still want to be able to give out to the community. St. Elizabeth Women's Support Team. I want to be able to help things like that. The YMCA is a good one. Those are all things that we want to be able to support and be a partner for. We already are kind of a go-to for where's the best place to get Italian ice? There is no other place to get Italian ice. Kind of pigeonholes us. It's different than Hawaiian ice or snow cone because that's the shaved ice with syrup over the top of it. A little bit different there. That's kind of it in a nutshell. I apologize. I probably talked really, really fast. I don't know what kind of time frame we're looking at, but I am certainly open to ask answer any questions that you guys might have or any thoughts or any comments.
Questions for Mr. Moore?
I have a comment.
Sure, Joe.
I'm very familiar with Rita's Water Ice. My wife is from the Philadelphia area. And then as our kids were growing up, my wife took us there. Then there's no way in hell we could ever go there in Philadelphia without stopping at a Rita's Water Ice. And we went to Florida and we saw it and we just had to stop. With our experience, and my advice to you, if you've never had it, you go try it. It is different. It is delicious. And the gelati, the custard is like a hard yogurt. It is delicious. You know, and I recommend everybody go try it if you haven't. And especially if you have kids or grandkids, you take them, it's easily addicting.
Thank you, Joe. I appreciate that. The frozen
$20, please.
The frozen custard certainly thicker, creamier, and richer than any of the soft serves. And you know, it's interesting you brought that up. We also looked for a location. We did not want to set up shop next to another mom and pop that we might put out of business, right? And that was not our intention. We had several locations further in towards Burlington, several other locations out in Union. You know, we just didn't want to cannibalize anybody else, but we wanted to kind of do our own thing because we were so unique. We're not ice cream, right? We're not yogurt and we're not Hawaiian ice. But we use the full egg, all of the eggs, like you do when you make a cake, to make it fluffier, creamier. We do the same thing with the custard. That custard is made for us and we're putting it into our machine and they're freezing it to get the consistency right. But the Italian ice, we are making with a recipe fresh every single morning at our location. So we don't bring that in. So that's the difference when people try that freshness. We put them together. Yeah. Appreciate that, Joe.
Yeah.
Question?
I do. Do you have a truck or how do you do when you go on site someplace?
It's a great question and interesting. I was a sales rep for many years, long before chili days, in the food industry. So I saw the trucks, the food trucks. I know the expense behind them. But I think what people don't realize is that is typically their entire fortune, right? So in other words, they're pouring all their money into that. They don't have a restaurant, brick and mortar, in most cases. Some do have a lot of money, that's cool too. That is a unit that's gonna have issues. And if it's not transmission or engine issues, you're gonna have issues with the fire, or issues with the refrigeration or the electric. In my thought process is twofold. They have, the requirement as far as the franchise, you have to be in business for a year, right? So I gotta wait till next December if I decide to do that. But the other one is that you have to buy that equipment from them. They're gonna build it, I have to drive up there and get it. So I don't get to do any of the specifications on it that I want it to look like. The other part is if I'm driving to a 250 to 500 seat in Verona, and I'm driving, if it breaks down, I am dead, right? There's nobody gonna come pick me up. There's not gonna be, now, if I have a vehicle which can pull a trailer, that's where I think I'm gonna be a little more successful. Because if I do have a trailer, a problem or issue when the truck breaks down, I can rent a car, right? I can have somebody come pick me up or take the trailer down. So right now, we do a table with a big tent, which was in one of the first pictures that we had up there that, oh boy, was going back, but. So we do a lot of just the hand scoop, which is what we do in the store anyway. But yes, we have found a way around it. I'm still not sold on a truck. I'm sold on another brick and mortar. But maybe if that too comes around, maybe it may force us to purchase a truck. The folks that use the trucks have, the Philadelphia Eagles, they got their spring train or their, whatever they call their football practice. So they have it and they're getting their money's worth back out of it. But, so I haven't ruled it out, but I will come to you with everything like I did today and you will, if you decide on that, please let me know, so.
Great. Anything else? Yes, Don.
Would you be open to partnering with local restaurants to have your product in?
So I'm 95% sure that that's probably against what we signed up for as far as the franchise agreement. And the thought process is twofold. I had a high-end restaurant reach out to me a few months ago. Somebody I went to high school with, they developed these great Italian restaurants and they wanted to bring in gelati as one of their dessert items. And they wanted me to put them in contact with that. And I just didn't feel comfortable doing that because that money that's in that restaurant, it comes from me. And I don't feel comfortable doing that, but I also don't want to go against any franchise agreement that would say that. So it's hard for them to say they're gonna buy our product and then how is that? They're not gonna make it there, right? I can't send it to them frozen because of the integrity of the product. Are they gonna thaw it out correctly? Are they gonna consistently, are we gonna be named as Rita's? We have Rita's on our menu. Those kind of things really start to get into a lot of that trademark and copyright, things that I am not familiar with enough. So it's easy for me to say no for right now, but I always have it open to suggestions in the future, but any mom and pop place that's a food truck. In fact, we have a lot of our local high schools for football season. The concession stands, they're asking us like they do the Chick-fil-A's and the La Rosa's pizzas, that they just buy them and then they mark them up $1 or $2. I'd be open to something like that. I'm gonna give you the product. What you guys do with it, how you sell it is up to you at that point. Again, kind of open to that. So I apologize for not being able to directly answer the question, but I hope that answered that, or at least gave you something to think about for.
Bob, thank you very much.
Thank you.
They say you are the first. I'm excited for my wife. She is a teacher at Villa Madonna. I will give her all the information and tell her to keep her eyes out for that. I grew up in Lakeside Park and we got a councilman from Lakeside Park here as well.
So I grew up at Flower Court, off of Hudson Avenue. Yeah, and so my dad was a child when he lived in that house. It's that big giant English tudor way back up at the top. And that's the house we lived in because there's enough rooms for the tenements, and that was where we grew up, so.
Remember, we have a foundation board meeting. Next week is the scholarship week. So until then, go do something.